Well, good morning out there in internet land. Hi, hello, and how are you doing? My name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative, and welcome to the weekend's most anticipated event, Front Porch Brunch. That wonderful, fun, zany little live stream that we do, getting together, talking about the news, letting you share your views, and we all try to figure out what the heck is going on in the world anyway. We are on Rumble, we are on Twitter, and we are on that quaint little alternative social media platform known as YouTube. So please, if you haven't done it yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel on YouTube and Rumble. You really know you want to do it anyway. You've been thinking about it, you've been toying with it, then you're like, I don't know, should I really do it? Yes, you should. Go ahead. You'll just, look, if you go ahead and subscribe on Rumble and YouTube, you will feel better about it, okay? Really, you'll feel better about yourself. You'll get one more thing off your mind that you know you really need to do, but you haven't been doing it anyway. So we're just trying to help you out. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit the thumbs up. Go ahead and leave a comment in chat. Share the link around to all your friends. Tell them to get in here. And let's hang out on a Saturday morning and have a little bit of fun. Besides, you got to do something other than tailgate. I mean, really. Let's think about your options here. You could either be eating food and drinking beverages with friends, or you could be listening to me. Now, honestly, you know which one is better for you. So just tell your friends, guys, save the beer, save the kegs and eggs. I'll do it another time. Front Porch is talking. I got to go listen to him. So there you go. See, your problems are solved. Anyway, we're on Rumble, we are on Twitter, we are on YouTube, and you have found your way to Front Porch Brunch, that fun little thing we do where we live stream on Saturday morning and we talk about some of the headlines. Man, I got a string of stuff up here to talk about. Jeez, it is absolutely crazy. We're glad you're here. Settle on in, folks. Pull up a chair, pour yourself a cup of coffee or something else, and let's just dive right in. It is so good to see everybody here this morning. Let's see who's in the house so far. Kamala. Yeah, we're going to talk about Kamala. Zippy over on Rumble here. Why is it bright out? The lights burn. Us's. I understand. TBA says, Zippy, good to see you. Ruben, working on editing my videos. Last night I recorded. Last night I've been writing policy papers that will change the world. Neo anti-federalist papers. The time is now. I will DM you. Thank you, sir. I look forward to reading and hearing them. Muy mala indeed. Muy mala indeed. Indeed. Good morning, Robert. Glad to have you here. Yeah, we're getting quite the nice little crowd popping in. So good to see all you guys. And yes, it is now Saturday morning. As I say, the most highly anticipated event of the weekend. No, not college football. No, not any number of things. It is Front Porch Brunch. And before we get started, I have to give some big time thank yous to you, my audience. As most of you know, Thursday night we hosted this lovely young lady, that Tug Life, on my channel for a conversation. And Tugs, as always, was joyful and fun and informative. And you guys stepped up in a very big way. She started the night at about 977 subscribers. Or 974, I think it was. It was 974. And, you know, you guys just stepped up in a big way. You have got her within absolute shouting distance of 1,000. So, and I think I can do this safely on Tugs' behalf, on her behalf, and as the host of this channel, I cannot thank you guys enough for what you've done to get her close to, you know, going over the 1,000 mark. So, thank you, thank you. Thank you and thank you. And by the way, I've still got it on the crawler at the bottom of the screen. Is the address to Tugs' YouTube channel. If you have got friends, maybe they weren't able to make it here that night, and you know they owe you a favor. I mean, it's up to you when you call in your favor with your friends. But if you think you can get them to do it, go ahead and take her YouTube link, share it out. Ask your friends, let's get this girl to 1,000. I mean, like I say, she is within shouting distance Uh, oh, you noticed that, did you, Ruben? Oh, my friend. Yes, we. I am not going to lie to you. We have got a crap ton of stuff to talk about this morning. And yes, that is a lot of tabs. So they'll get thinned out as time goes on. But yeah. Thank you for noticing, Ruben. I've been up quite early this morning putting the show together, and I think I've got a really good one laid out for you guys. But yeah. So please, if you can, take the link to Tugs's YouTube channel, share it around to your friends. Let's get this girl to 1,000 because, like I say, I love this lady to death. She is probably one of the best, genuinely one of the nicest people out on social media. And I would do this, even I didn't think that ever. I think she, what do you mean, ay caramba? What? Hey, look, I'm trying to put together a good show for you guys, and you're like, yeah, look at those tabs. Yeah. Thanks a lot. By the way, I got to share this with you. You know how I said that YouTube is screwing around with me? I saw it. Legitimately, I saw it. And let me tell you what I'm getting at. So the other night, when Tugs and I finished that live stream, her channel went up to like 992 subs. Mine went to 952. There are some folks who subscribed to my channel on the basis of her appearance, and for everyone who did, I thank you so very much. I genuinely appreciate it. But something funny happened. The next morning, when I checked it again, and nothing had changed. I hadn't posted any new videos. I hadn't posted any shorts. I hadn't done anything. My subscriber count dropped by 5. The funny thing was, so I'm sitting now at about 947 in subscribers. She was sitting on 992. Tugs's channel is now sitting on 987. We dropped by the same corresponding number of subscribers in the same time period. Now, I know that people are going to hear me say this and they're going to think I'm absolutely crazy, but I'm telling you the truth. That is exactly what happened. Because when by the time it's all done, like I said, Tugs's channel was up to like 992. She's now sitting at 987. I was up to 952, and I'm now sitting at 947. We both dropped by the exact same number of subscribers in the exact same time period. So, anybody who says, oh, no, YouTube doesn't do that sort of thing. They don't screw around with you like that. Bravo, Sierra. Yeah, Ruben, I absolutely concur with you, my friend. I absolutely concur. Yeah, absolutely. It's the weirdest thing I have ever seen. And I know I may be crazy, but I know exactly what I saw. She had 992. I had 952. She now has 987, and I'm sitting on 947. We both lost 5 subscribers in the exact same time period. So YouTube, we're watching. That's all I'm saying. But getting back to what I was saying at the start, please, let's get this girl. She is like, regardless of what YouTube's screwing around doing, this girl is 13 subscribers away. And like I said, I cannot thank you all enough. I can't thank you guys enough for everything you did for her that night as far as subscribing to her channel. But if you've got friends, maybe they weren't able to join us that night, please help this girl out. She is almost there. Matter of fact, she's doing a stream later today that she's referring to as the bimbo build. She's building a computer live on air. So go help her out this afternoon. And if you can, please, between now and then, get your friends to subscribe to her channel and let's get her over the top. Because like I say, there's a lot of people on social media that deserve success. And she's one of them because she's one of the hardest working young ladies out there. Okay. Let us now turn our attention. To to the Merry Memes section of the show. And we got quite a few of them set up. Some have been sent in, some of them I found on my own. So cheers to all of you. Zippy over on Rumble says, YouTube also randomly shut down a high-level YouTuber, Iron Mouse, main page due to how bad their copyright claim system is. YouTube is ass. Zippy, you ain't getting disagreement from me. TBA says YouTube is effing around with both of you. No, I wholeheartedly agree with that. Do no evils, so yeah, okay, there you go. You ain't wrong, Ruben. You ain't wrong, my friend. All right. The Merry Memes section of the show. We have an update from the Middle East, by the way. The folks out in the Middle East, as y'all are fully aware, there's been some funky stuff going on as it relates to pagers and cell phones. Apparently, the Israeli Mossad have figured out a way to take those devices and use them as explosives. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. Well, apparently one of the devices didn't explode, which was a pager. And in a very unique or perhaps twisted sense of humor sort of way, we now know what was the last thing that a lot of these folks in Hezbollah and Hamas saw before the pagers blew up. I don't know about you guys, but that message to me would scare me to death. If that were the last thing I saw on my pager, I don't know, man. I'd be especially after you hear what's happened to your friends, I'd be getting really nervous. Okay. Just saying. And by the way, this might cause those who are chanting from the river to the sea, that might make them rethink whether they really want to engage in that particular chant. You know, I mean, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. Anyway, so yeah, just imagine if you're a Hamas or a Hezbollah terrorist and you look down at your pager and that's the last thing you see before it blows up. I don't know about you guys, but that made me think about a career change. Now, and understandably so, these folks are getting jumpy over there. I mean, almost any sound anymore is making them, get a little freaked out. I mean, for example, if the Roadrunner came up behind you and gave his customary greeting and you're a Hezbollah or Hamas terrorist, would you not start running? I mean, so you begin to understand what's going on here. You hear something go beep, beep, and it's like, oh, shit. Yeah, that's definitely a little bit of a that's definitely a little bit of a problem, y'all. I'm just saying. The liver to the knee is a big distance. Oh, goodness me. TBA over on Rumble says, Night of the Long Knives Redux. Well, could be, my friend. Could be indeed. I hope those beepers aren't made by Acme. Well, the way they're blowing up on the terrorists, you gotta wonder. It's like, really? It's like, whew. Anyway. So yeah, the Hezbollah and Hamas folks are getting a little bit jumpy whenever they hear certain sounds. And like I said, they hear a beep, beep. Yeah, you see them start running. Absolutely. However, I think it may very well be that, well, now Midmo, this is absolutely true too. This is absolutely true. But I think the folks in Hamas and Hezbollah have figured out a way how to get around this problem posed by the Israeli Mossad and also keep their lines of communication open. As TBA over on Rumble rightly points out, they are now using, at least according to reports, the terrorists in the Middle East are now using a company called Hezbollah, And they managed to figure out a way how to get around this whole issue of what's going on with the pagers and the cell phones. I don't know, though. No, they're not using tin can and string, but Hezbollah, apparently this is what they've come up with. This is what Hezbollah has come up with on behalf of folks in Hamas and in Hezbollah. And, you know, I think this is going to get around the problems that they've got with the Israeli Mossad. But then again, I don't know how effective this is going to be. You know, it just looks a little bit clunky. You know, it looks just a little bit clunky. I mean, you know, imagine having to carry that on your belt all the time. It's like, geez. Now, the irony of it, when I found this meme, my mom has a phone just like that. I am not kidding you. I am not kidding you. My mom has a phone that looks almost like that, even down to the cord. Kid you not, and she still got it. So yeah, when I saw that, that took me back in time. It really did. Just, well, yeah, they probably would have better luck with string and styrofoam cups at this point. Exactly. I mean, look, I'm using tin cans and string, and it's working out for me. You know. No, TBA, Ma Trippett is not renting it from Ma Bell. She owns it outright. Okay, somehow or another, years ago, she got her hands on a rotary dialer phone, looks just like that one in the picture. But no, she's not renting it. I mean, my mom now has those push button, you know, cordless phones, which is fine. I mean, that's perfectly fine. But, you know, she still got that old red one. You know, so when I saw that meme, I went, "Oh, that's too funny. That is just too funny." WWG1, and by the way, good morning, WWG1. If they start booby trapping goats, then they are in big trouble. Dude, man, I don't know if it was a legitimate clip or not. May have been somebody just taking Jake Tapper's image, but somehow there's somebody out there who had something on Twitter about Jake Tapper reporting on booby-trapped goats. Craziest thing I have ever seen or heard of. So, yeah. TBA says she's got a red bat phone. Well, it's not being used at this point. It's up in a closet. I know exactly where it is at her residence. But she still got it after all these years. So if she ever wanted to plug the thing in and you know, let her fingers do the walking, yeah, she can still do it. You know. Speaking of the situation with the goats, if there is a dead man switch up a goat's ass, I don't want to be the one putting it there. Okay, I'm just saying standards. You know. WWG1 says, so Commissioner Gordon and your mom are good friends, huh? Well, look, she's met a lot of people over the years. WWG1, what can I tell you? Anyway, what else have we got in the way of the merry meme section of the show? Oh, by the way, I think the citizens of Springfield, Ohio I think they're starting to adapt and adopt certain practices by the Mossad to deal with some of the issues that they're going through with the Haitians. And I don't know how this is going to work out, but man, when you start seeing this sort of thing, you know people are getting fed up and PO'd in Springfield, Ohio. You know, that the look on that girl's face, that's a woman who's had enough. So there you go. Yeah, buddy. Like I say, I'm pretty sure. I am pretty sure that the folks in Springfield, Ohio, have been paying very close attention to what the Mossad's been doing to Hezbollah and Hamas, and they finally decided to adopt some of the methods of the Mossad to deal with their issues with their Haitian neighbors. I mean, I'm not saying, but I'm just saying. There you go. All right, what else do we have in the way of the merry meme section? Oh, by the way, Dr. Thomas Sowell, one of my absolutely favorites, and Joe over on Rumble says, "Good morning, sir. How are you?" No, I did not see this. Hey, Patty, I tell you what, and you don't have to do it right now, but I'd love to see the story you're talking about. Would you do me a favor? And again, you do not have to do this right now, but do me a favor. I've got a Twitter. It's the front porch C1. If you can find the story and the link, and I'm sure you can, but tag me in that because I want to see this. I really do. So, and again, you don't have to do it right now. But when you get a second, tag me on Twitter with the link to that story because I want to see it. But I would not be surprised at all if that's actually what's happening. I really wouldn't. And that's, I think that's, to me, one of the great tragedies of what's going on in Springfield, Ohio. I mean, lay aside everything else. Is the people simply want to live in peace. They want to live their lives. They want safe neighborhoods and good schools, and they want to know who their neighbors are. And the government is going out of its way to take better care of people who are not citizens of their city than the people that the citizens elected to take care of them, or to take care of certain issues. Let me rephrase it that way. Yeah, here's the link on Twitter. Thank you, Ruben. I appreciate it. And thank you, Patty. I'm looking forward to reading that. I really am. But anyway, getting back to the memes. It's Dr. Thomas Sowell, a man who I have immense amounts of respect for. In the midst of our current situations, the great struggle between individual freedom and supposed benevolent despotism, in how he could uniquely and eloquently phrase the struggle, he's giving a piece of advice to all of us out here who are lovers of liberty. And man, I won't even comment on it. I'll just let it speak for itself. Because you could see Thomas Sowell saying something like this. Like I said, as only he can with the eloquence that he possesses, could he express in such terms the great struggle of our time. And more importantly, what we should do about it. So there you go. And you know what? And I do have to say, and I realized that picture of AOC was from a few years ago, but I am not going to lie. She can be a good looking lady. Now, like I said, I know that's when she was back in college, but I'm not going to, I'm sitting here going, dang, she looks good. Pity that she got older and more stupid with her education, but in that moment, dang, girl, you were looking good. Sorry. Need a drink of water. Excuse me. All right. Let me get that meme pulled down before I totally lose track of where I am. So WWG1 says, hypnotized there, Brian. That is why I took the meme down. So I wouldn't get hypnotized. Thank you very much. TBA says, are hers better than Lauren's? Now, how dare you, sir? How dare you ask me if AOC's tatas are better than my future ex-wife's? No, sir, they are not. It's just that, it's just that her assets are allocated differently. That's all I'm saying. We'll leave it right there. Um, moving on quickly before this really goes right to the gutter. As you all know, Kamala Harris is a gun owner. She's told us so many times now in her campaign appearances that she and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz have appeared at either jointly or individually. Well, as you know, being able to obtain a gun in California is a very strict process, and we managed to obtain some footage of the process that one must go through in California in order to be able to obtain a gun. Apparently, there's some type of interview process, and um, I don't know, man. I look, California is its own state, and I realize that they're going to make their own laws about how they want to deal with guns, but I don't know. I don't know if this is really necessary for the purchase of a firearm. But like I say, California is its own unique state. They're going to do what they got to do. Yeah. So I don't know if this is what you got to go through to have a gun in California or to obtain one. I don't know, man. Makes me want to move someplace else, which, believe me, the Californians are doing in droves. Oh, don't worry, Ruben. We're going to get into this. Oh, my God. I watched some of that, and I tell you what. Whoo! Dude, I think my IQ dropped about 20 points just watching some of that stuff. It is absolutely ridiculous. Joe over on Rumble says, with the rumors about Kamala using various substances, I'm not sure it's safe to be around her with a firearm. Yo, dang, dude. I am doing my best to stay out of that one. And okay, let me just tell you where I sort of am at with this. Okay. Do I think it is possible that Kamala Harris bends the elbow quite frequently? Well, I think it's very possible. And it would go to explain a lot about her. Do I know that she is doing it? No, not necessarily. But I've heard the same rumors, Joe, and I'm not dismissing what you're saying. So please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying you're wrong, nor am I trying to dismiss. I'm kind of staying out of that one, only because I'm just waiting to see somebody or someone say like, yeah, we got reports, we got eyewitnesses, yeah. So, good morning, my dear. So good to have you here. And let's see, computer running slow, lots of buffering, going to reboot, back when I can. Dear, you do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. So, we love you. We're going to be here. But believe me, with that string of tabs, we're going to be here for a while. I assure you, we're going to be here for a while. Let's see. What else do we have in the way of the merry memes? A variation on a one that's frequently out there right now. Yep. Beware of Greeks bearing gifts. There you go. Zippy says Kamala's tongue is thick with pills too. I've heard the same thing. TBA asked the question, is Kamala having triplets? If she is, them some ugly ass kids, that's all I'm saying. And let me tell you something. If those are what the kids come out looking like, then Doug Emhoff and her need to have a talk. You know that's true. You know that's right. Oh, mercy me. Yep. Yeah, because Kamala may be back to hoeing. That's all I'm saying. All right. The next couple things I've got aren't necessarily memes, but they're extremely cute. And I don't think I played this the other night but I've heard about it. And if I did play it and I'm playing it again, you have my apologies in advance. As you all know, President Trump attended a rally in New York City, particularly out on Long Island, Nassau Coliseum. But before he went out on stage, he did something that is very, very touching. And it's a side of Donald Trump that a lot of people don't always get to see. Okay. So with that, and like I said, you guys have probably already seen this, but I think it's precious. I think it's cute for a lot of reasons, and not cute on behalf of the person's reaction to what Donald Trump does. So with that, as always, give me a sound check. Let me know if we're 5 by 5, and here you go.
I'm supposed to be in that stage, but that doesn't matter. Because I got you the best president you'll ever have. This is the best president you'll ever have. How are you, Bob? Hi, Mom. Okay, honey, this is yours. And in there is real good stuff. Okay? So beautiful. See, look at that. These great photographers. And we're going to have that picture for life, okay? You and I. Is she going to come out and watch me?
Of course.
Because I left the stage in order to come and say hello to him.
Especially you are.
Okay, honey? So beautiful. So you take care of Mom and Dad? Is that your sister, right?
Takes care of us a lot right now.
So why don't you do this? Take care of yourselves. Okay, I'm going to go right after
Say
you.
thank you.
Take care of yourself, honey, okay? I wish I looked like that. If I looked like that, I'd be president.
I know you can't really see it from that angle, but I would have given a lot to see the look on that little boy's face. Now, if that situation seems familiar to you, and maybe you didn't see it when we played something like it the other night, there's a young man. He's probably, I say young man, he's really a little boy. He's like 8 or 9 years old. And he has a very rare brain disorder, and it's very hard on him. And I'm not saying it to garner sympathy for him. I mean, his situation is what it is. And, you know, if you don't feel sorry for this little kid, given what he's going through, then I'm sorry, you just don't have a heart. And apparently President Trump and his wife Melania heard about this, and they sent him a letter for his birthday. And again, if you didn't see that video or you haven't seen it, I recommend you go out and try and find it, because if you don't cry by the time that's done, watching that little kid's reaction to getting a letter from his hero, then like I said, you haven't got a heart. You just don't have a heart. I love you, but you need Jesus. Anyway, so Liam and his family were invited backstage to meet President Trump, and that's how that interaction got set up. But I love that last line. Man, if I looked like this kid, I'd be president of the United States. It just starts to walk off. That's great. That's absolutely great. Yeah, oh, I agree. Yeah. I've seen videos of 6-year-olds. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Supposedly this guy's the enemy of democracy, and he's Darth Vader, and he's everything else. Then, man, and then you got little kids like, I wish Trump were here. I was like, how do you do that? Yeah. I mean, I'm sitting here. I got to wipe away tears now. And speaking of wiping away tears, there is nothing more adorable than watching the family of a military man come home. Well, somebody captured on video a dad who had come home, and I guess it was early morning, and his son, it was his son, I'm pretty sure. His son is still asleep. I want you to watch this, because I think it was Selena Zito who reposted this. But man, I was like, yeah, we're going to put this on Brunch. If I don't, I'm just crazy. I got to do it. We got to put this thing. Yeah, videos like that make you cry every time you see them. I agree with you, Dave. Absolutely agree. And good morning, by the way. Like I said, this dad came home. His son, his little boy, was still in bed. And you got to watch this, because this is just absolutely precious. Can't wake him up. Kind of roll him over. Still trying to wake him up.
Daddy.
Like I say, hang on a minute. If you watch that and it doesn't affect you, I love you, but bless your heart, you need help. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. TBA over on Rumble says, yeah, my eyes are leaking again. I need a tissue. Yeah, I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you. Whew. Yeah. Stuff like that just reminds you of the important things in life. It really does. Oh, here's one for you. No, I'm not trying to. I find this stuff, and I think sometimes in the midst of, the news that I tend to cover, I try to, mix it up a little bit with some lighter side and some, a little more human interest stuff. So yeah, every so often I'll find something like that. Like, yeah, that's cute. We got to put that out there. It's too good. Blame Nina Infinity for that. Daggone her. She does that wonderful live stream on Fridays called Good News, and she'll post a lot of stuff like that. And I mean, yeah. And by the way, shout out to Nina Infinity. She is just absolutely one of my absolute favorite people. And I am envious of her. She is living down in Cancun. It's just, girl, I love you, but I hate you all at the same time. Love you, but I hate you. But anyway, a lot has been made about political alliances in the 2024 election. And somebody out in Arizona, I think it was the Arizona GOP, put up probably what may be one of the coolest billboards I have ever heard of. Folks, if this doesn't give you a reason to vote Trump Vance, I don't know what's going to do it. Team unity. Like I said, this is a billboard. It's paid for by the Arizona Republican Party. And I tell you what, dang, I love that. I absolutely love that. That's just freaking cool. Which, by the way, I've got some Vivek Ramaswamy clips here in a little bit. TBA just dropped me something. Hang on a minute. TBA, what have you done here, you madman? What is this? All right. I think I know what this is. I think I am familiar with what you just sent me, but you know what? Since we're still in the meme section of the show, hang on a minute. Let me see if this is what I think it is. Yeah, this is exactly what I think it is. I'll play a little bit of it. Folks, this whole they're eating the cats phenomenon, it's gone worldwide. Okay. I saw this earlier this morning and I went, you know that you have made a cultural impact, for good or for bad, when an expression that you uttered in the middle of a presidential debate has gone on to take a life of its own, and it's gone all over the world. I mean, we always talk about the internet being the great the great town hall here in America. Well, it's also now the world. And when you see what I'm talking about, you're going to understand this. TBA, thank you for dropping this in. So we're going to play just a second. This was in Germany. Okay. So listen to this.
Eating the cats, eating the pets, all the people that live there. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, eating the pets, all the people that live there. Eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets, all the people that live there.
Oh, he's South African. Oh, I did not know that. Okay, well, thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate that. Yeah, this thing's turning into a global phenomenon. It's absolutely insane. Now, like I said, good or bad, you can look at it however you want to, but this thing is just Oh, really? I did not know. I did not know that aspect of the story. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting. Very interesting indeed. Thank you, Patty. I appreciate that. Yeah, this one phrase. One phrase. Yeah, that's true. That's true too, Robert. That's absolutely true, brother. They don't believe it because, yeah. And we've got some Springfield, Ohio clips. Like I said, I got a ton of stuff this morning. But when I saw that Vivek Ramaswamy did a town hall himself in Springfield, I was like, oh, we got to play some of this. We absolutely got to play some of this. So TBA, thank you for dropping that in. All right, what else have we got? Have we got anything else in the way of the merry memes? No, we're through the merry meme section. Okay. It is 10 minutes after 11. You have found your way to one of the most fun live streams on the whole of social media on the weekend, and it's called Front Porch Brunch. I am Brian Tripp, and I'm the Front Porch Conservative. If you're not subscribed to my channels on YouTube and Rumble, would you please do me a favor? Go ahead and give me a sub. The brother's working hard here to try to get ahead, so, help a brother out. YouTube, Rumble, Twitter, go ahead and subscribe on all those places. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up while you're at it. Leave a comment and chat because that helps with the algorithm. And share the link around to your friends. See if you can't get them to subscribe while you're at it. All right. Let us move along to Kamala Harris's appearance on the Oprah Winfrey Town Hall in Michigan. There are so many things that can be said to describe this great gathering, he says with dripping sarcasm. But I think there's one thing that can be said, and it's very, very true. The more Kamala Harris talks, the more you realize, oh my God, you're so dumb. And the worst part about it is, and I have a certain amount of respect for Oprah Winfrey. Okay, don't get me wrong. Let me explain that. I respect the fact that for a very long time, she worked very, very hard to acquire what she has in life. Now, you can say she was good, bad, but she did. She went out, she busted her butt every day for years in various forms of business to acquire the wealth that she has. Good on her. Nothing wrong with that. But Oprah's fastball isn't quite what it used to be. And you can tell this during this conversation, okay? And I want to play some clips. Somebody found one where they made the comment that Kamala and Oprah sound like they're on ecstasy. Now, I've never been on ecstasy and have no plans to do so. But if this is what it sounds like, oh, you can definitely count me out. Listen to this.
Thousands of screens here representing people from all over the country.
Hi, everyone.
Can you Can you feel it? Can you feel the joy rising in here?
I can, and I
Thousands.
Oh, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel the joy rising in here? Oh, Mother of God. I know you guys appreciate me for everything I try and do for this audience, but y'all ought to feel sorry for me that I lose brain cells every time I watch one of these Kamala Harris clips. It's TBA's like, oh my God, my IQ just dropped 10 points. Exactly. WWG1's like, I can feel my breakfast rising. Yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm. Everybody, yeah, everybody's feeling this. Everybody's ready to lose it. This is awful. Oh. Yeah, really. Yeah. Oh, we're going to get to that one. I have got a ton to say about that one. My God. Someone told these ladies one too many times that they're cute. Hi, I'm Kamala Harris. I'm from California, and I'm not blonde. Could have fooled me. Oh, goodness me. All right. Now, there is a clip, and it's only about 18 seconds long, and Cernovich posted this one. And I tell you what, this one gets my blood boiling. Okay. All right. I saw that. We'll check that out. That might be worth closing with. Yes, sir. This almost 20-second clip just makes my blood boil. Okay. Joe's like, my brain is atrophying incoming. Brain atrophy. Yeah, you will. Your brain is gonna. I'm just gonna play it. Now, y'all probably heard about this. And now, like I said, everybody knows Kamala Harris's gun odor, right? Because Kamala Harris been telling everybody this, okay, for weeks now. I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun owner. We're not going to take your guns away. All right, fine. I don't believe you, but fine. That's what you're saying. But this clip, I'm going to play this, and y'all, when we're going to get into this.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
Oh, man, hang on. Here we go.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes.
Let me start that over. I want you guys to hear this start to finish.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Somebody breaks into my house, they getting shot. And there's that fake accent of hers again.
Yes. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that. But my staff will deal with that later.
Yeah.
One more time, start to finish, uninterrupted.
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that. But my staff will deal with that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, if someone breaks into your house, they probably are getting shot, Kamala. They probably are. But it won't be by you. It'll be by the Secret Service that protects you. And if not the Secret Service, it'll be by some private security that you've hired. You won't pull the trigger on somebody. You won't have to. Because you can afford to pay for your protection. And even if you didn't have to pay for it, which right now, technically speaking, you don't have to. I'm paying for it. The listeners in this audience are paying for it. You got yours. You've got your protection. If someone breaks into your house, yeah, you're absolutely right. They're going to get shot. What you're not telling people is who's going to be doing it. And that gets me to the gripe that I've got. See, people like Kamala Harris don't mind making sure that they've got theirs, but they're going to make sure you never get yours. What am I getting at? Oh, they're going to make sure they got their protection. They're going to make sure they've got their guns. They're going to make sure that if somebody breaks in their house, that person, whoever it is, they're going to get shot. But people like Kamala Harris are never going to give you the ability to defend yourself as well as they can defend themselves. And it's one of my biggest gripes with gun control on so many different levels. People like Kamala Harris talk about defunding the police and reducing our staff levels of policing. Well, okay. Then my question to people like Kamala Harris is, are you going to loosen up gun control laws in your city or county or state so that if you're going to reduce police levels, that they can defend themselves as well or adequately as if they had a stronger police force in their town? You going to do that? Because if you're not, then don't even talk to me about reducing policing. Okay? Because there's really only two reasons why you should have a small police force in your town. Okay? Bar all things being equal, there's only two reasons why you ought to do it. Number one, you have such a moral people that they respect each other's persons and their property such that crime is minimal. Okay? That's one reason why you might have a small police force. The other reason is the citizens of the city are so well armed and they are so well trained in how to use their armaments that they personally own that while a police force for the town might be good, if push came to shove, individuals or neighborhoods would have the ability to defend themselves. To me, right off the top of my head, those are the two reasons why you could maybe have a reduced amount of police in your town. The problem with Kamala Harris and people like her is they want to reduce police, but they don't want you to be able to defend yourself. Oh, I'm a gun owner. Tim Wallace is a gun owner. We're not going to take anyone's guns. Really? You're not? You're not gonna take our guns, but you want mandatory buyback, and you don't mind confiscating guns straight out of people's houses. See, yeah, I think Robert, it's a 6-word phrase, but it so sums up why that clip makes everybody mad. I don't care. Look, and I guess I'm making this comment out there for you Democrats that are still willing to listen. I wish that number were larger, but I'm going to talk to you guys for a second. Y'all that are willing to listen. With good conscience, can you honestly listen to her say that and not have the same reaction that I and the members of my audience and people on the right side of the political spectrum are having? Can you honestly look at that and not realize what she's saying? She's going to get hers. She's protected. Okay? She got hers. She ain't going to let you have yours. Yeah. Oh, I mean, I wholeheartedly agree. All right, let me get some of y'all's reaction to that. Joe asks a question that I really want answered. Has anyone thought to ask her what kind of gun, make and model, how long has she had it? Joe, those are questions I'm wanting some reporter to ask her. I swear I do. I want somebody to ask her that. TBA says, Kamala ought not visit West Virginia. TBA, trust me. Kamala Harris ain't never going to set foot in West Virginia to campaign. You ain't got to worry about that. She will never, ever set foot in this. And you know what? The tail end of that comment was real good too. I'll let my staff deal with it later. Story of her life. You're absolutely right, Rhonda. Absolutely right. Joe also says on Rumble, so Kamala supports the castle doctrine. Stand your ground. That's another good question. WWG1 says, people like Kamala won't be able to walk down the street in the near future. Yeah. And Zippy, cops are not a replacement for an armed people. Daggone right. Daggone right. Yeah. What kind of gun someone carries. Good point. Good point. Good point. Good morning, Z Highness. Love you, darling. Love you. Yeah, this is a good point. That's a good point, Midmo. Good point. They're not going to. Neither side has claimed neither side has. Now that, excuse me, now I can't read this morning. Jeez. Now that either side has claimed election interference and cheating, the left is going to agent provocateur the shit out of it. You got that right. You got that right. Yeah, I saw that clip about her comments about, somebody getting shot if they get in her house. It just made my blood boil. It really did. Really did. Now, as if all that weren't bad enough, okay? So she gets asked a question that really ought to be in her wheelhouse, and she just can't answer it. If you guys don't believe me, check this out.
What would be specific steps to strengthening the border?
So it's a wonderful.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me start that back over again.
What would be specific steps to strengthening the border?
So it's a wonderful and important question. My background was as a prosecutor, and I was also the elected attorney general for 2 terms of a border state. So this is not a theoretical issue for me. This is something I've actually worked on. Okay. I have prosecuted transnational criminal organizations for the trafficking of guns, drugs, and human beings. I take very seriously the importance of having a secure border and ensuring the safety of the American people.
Well, if you take having a secure border to be an important thing, then why didn't you do anything about it when you were the border czar? Oh, which, by the way, you still are. TBA is like, and once again, she doesn't answer the question. Bingo. 35. I mean, let's just work from the assumption that it took him. Well, hang on. I'll tell you here in a second. Hang on. I want to see how long it takes him to ask the question and how long in that clip she's actually answering it. Hold on a minute.
What would be specific steps to strengthening the border?
3 seconds. Out of that 39-second clip, he spoke for 3 seconds. She spoke for 35, and she doesn't say a damn thing. And he asks a straightforward question. What specific steps would you take to strengthen the border? And for 35 or 36 seconds, she can't answer the question. Or maybe it's better to say she won't answer the question. And if she won't answer the question, I can tell you why she won't answer the question. And that is, she has no answer. But if you don't believe me on that point, if you don't believe me, let's play a little bit more of the answer that she gives and watch what happens. Oprah has to bail her out. You don't believe me? Oh, folks, hang on and check this out.
Gets to the point about what does leadership really look like? And is it about you or is it about the people? Right. Is it about running on problems or fixing problems? My work and my career has always been about saying, let's fix problems. Let's address the needs because we know it's within our capacity to do that.
So another 20 seconds worth of answer that doesn't say anything. The woman took, 35 and 20, almost a full minute and said absolutely nothing. He asked a question that took 3 seconds to ask. What specific steps would you take to strengthen the border? He didn't add a lot of fluff or a lot of flower to it or flowery language or anything else. He asked a straightforward question. What would you do to strengthen the border? And for almost 60 seconds, this woman says not a damn thing. It's ridiculous. And it got so bad, Oprah Winfrey's got to bail her out. Listen to this.
Answer Justin's question. Now that bill has gone and hasn't passed, will you reintroduce that?
Absolutely. And when I am elected president of the United States, I will make sure that bill gets to my desk and I will sign it into law.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Justin. Listen to this.
Did you guys see what just happened here? I mean, am I crazy? Really? Well, I am crazy, but laying that aside, do you see what I'm talking about? So Oprah has to dive in, bail her out. Okay? Has to bail her out. and say, well, that bill failed, but would you reintroduce the bill? Well, now do we even know what was in the bill? Does Kamala even give an answer about what specifically is in the bill? No, we don't even know. Oh, but if you give me a bill, I'll sign it. Oh, or. Oh my God. Yeah, exactly. Good point, Patty. You know, I had not thought about that as a strategy on how to solve our immigration and border enforcement, but that might be a real good idea. Maybe she'll ride a John Deere lawn tractor. Just saying. But I mean, it's just on and on with this. Now, remember what she said about the border, right? That if she gets this bill, she's going to sign it and she's going to toughen everything up. Well, somebody put together a clip and the testimony of an official before Congress the other day, Chief Border Patrol Agent Aaron Hetke. I think you guys need to see this, and this is for you Democrats out there that are like, no, Kamala's tough on the border. She'll make sure we've got a strong border. She's going to make sure that we're going to be safe because she said she'd sign the bill. Okay. Kamala going to make you safe. Kamala going to sign the bill, huh? Right? Really? Okay, well, you Democrats out there that y'all supporting Kamala because she's so tough on the border, maybe you ought to watch this.
To suggest that we have to build a wall across our southern border because there are terrorists who are trying to invade the country, it couldn't be farther from the truth.
An exponential increase in significant interest aliens. These are aliens with significant ties to terrorism. Prior to this administration, the San Diego sector averaged 10 to 15 SIA arrests per year. Once word was out the border was far easier to cross, San Diego went to over 100 SIAs in 2022, well over that in 2023, and even more than that registered this year. These are only the ones we caught. At the time, I was told I could not release any information on this increase in SIAs or mention any of the arrests. The administration was trying to convince the public there was no threat at the border.
So for all you Democrats out there that think she's going to be tough on the border, understand what he just said. The Biden-Harris administration muzzled him from telling everybody how bad the problem was. And that prior to the Biden-Harris administration coming in, they had very few of these type of encounters at the border. And then you've got Kamala saying when she was running for president the first time back in 2019, this idea that terrorists are crossing our border. Let me just play it again. Let me let you hear it. Let me let you hear it in her own words. You don't believe me?
To suggest that we have to build a wall across our southern border because there are terrorists who are trying to invade the country. It couldn't be farther from the truth.
Couldn't be further from the truth, huh? Here's the guy and telling you up front where San Diego was concerned. Oh, it was very much the truth. And they muzzled him for trying to say anything about it. And I agree, Robert, I agree with you. I agree with you. He could have been a whistleblower. He could have used whistleblower protections and got this information out. But my point is this. They tried to shut him up. Biden and Harris tried to shut him up because they didn't want guys like him and others telling the American people, we got a big ass problem here, guys. We got to do something. Now, going back to the love-in between Kamala and Oprah, oh God, this may be the worst clip of the night. But I got to play it. Okay, this runs about 45 seconds. I'm going to play this uninterrupted and step away momentarily. So enjoy, listen, talk amongst yourselves, But as you do, check this one.
We really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
Yeah, first of all, thank you both for being here. And yours is a story I hear around the country as I travel. And in terms of both rightly having the right to have aspirations and dreams and ambitions for your family, and working hard and finding that the American dream is, for this generation and so many recently, far more elusive than it's been. And we need to deal with that. And there are a number of ways. One is bringing down the cost of everyday necessities, including groceries.
We really would love to know what your plan is to help lower the cost of living.
Yeah, first of all, thank you both for being here. And yours is a story I hear around the country.
Sorry about that, folks. Thought I was going to be able to get back in time. Yep. Nothing. She says nothing. TBA says, yeah, I'd like to know what I'm going to do to lower the cost of living too, is what she should have said. Price controls. Yeah, that's all she did. That's all she did. Nothing else. Yeah. It's terrible. It is. I mean, I'm putting your comments up here, but you guys are saying what I'm already thinking, what everybody's thinking whenever they watch this stuff with her. I don't know if I'm angry. If I'm angry because this woman is that stupid, or if I'm more angry that there's a bunch of people in America that wants to vote for her. Yeah, that dear, that's a good way of putting it. That's a real good way of putting it. A really good way of putting it. Gypsy dropped something on the Rumble side, and let me look at this real quick. I don't know if I can put this up on YouTube or not, but I got to see it first. What is this? Did I? Wait a minute. Wait. Hang on. I must have done something wrong here. Wait a second. Did I? Hang on, folks. Oh! Well, you know what? This. No, I better not. Gypsy, thank you. Believe me. Yeah. I am really torn because I would. Yeah. Dang. Oh God, that's good. Gypsy, that is so good. Oh, I love you, but I got to err on the side of caution on that one. But God, that's funny. That's funny as hell. All right. Getting back to the love in. Yeah, red card penalty, red card. Woo, that's spicy though. Y'all need to pop over to y'all. Hang on a minute. I got Lord. Oh, yeah. Yeah. TBA's you cannot put TBA's like, you cannot put that on YouTube, Brian. You'd get off for sure. But it's funny as hell. Go if you have a moment, go over to the Rumble chat, get that link that Gypsy dropped, and you will die laughing. That's all I'm going to say. Zippy's like, gives new meaning to the term love gun. Oh, God. You guys are awful. Whew. Mercy. All right. Moving along here. Oh, have mercy. Oh, goodness. Yeah. There's nothing that this woman said that does anything to address the concerns of these folks. And yet they're still thinking about voting for her. It's just incredible to me. Now, if you guys think all of that was bad enough, oh, bless your heart, Patty. Thank you. Very kind indeed. A tip of the hat to you, young lady. A tip of the hat. That's very, very sweet of you. Midmo, you may be right. Maybe we need a voter competency test. Ah, goodness me. Don't act like you don't like it when we get. No, I love it when you get spicy. I do. Believe me, under normal circumstances, I'd put that one up there in a heartbeat, but it's like it's like, oh man, I know I'm gonna get roasted by YouTube for this one. No, I love it when you get spicy, my dear. Anyway. Okay, if you thought everything else in the Kamala Oprah love fest was bad enough, this one takes the cake. And I'm going to say this again, and to you all out there who are thinking about voting for Kamala Harris, I love you. I genuinely do. But you have got to look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself the question. The longer you listen to this woman, do you really think that she has the brains and the intelligence to do the job you're thinking about electing her to? Now, maybe it's to the point that you're like, nope, Trump is orange man bad, and you cannot make me vote against her. Okay, maybe. But can you listen to the clip that we're about to listen to and come away and say, yep, I can absolutely vote for her because she knows what the hell she's talking about? Really? You believe that? So let me just play it, and then I want you Democrats out there look at me and say, yep, I may not agree with everything she wants to do, but I know she's intelligent enough to do the job.
We love our country. I love our country. I know we all do. That's why everybody's here right now. We love our country. We take pride in the privilege of being American. And this is a moment where we can and must come together as Americans, understanding we have so much more in common than what separates us. Let's come together with the character that we are so proud of about who we are, which is we are an optimistic people. We are an optimistic people. Americans, by character, are people who have dreams and ambitions and aspirations. We believe in what is possible. We believe in what can be. And we believe in fighting for that. That's how we came into being, because the people before us understood that one of the greatest expressions for the love of our country, one of the greatest expressions of patriotism, is to fight for the ideals of who we are, which includes freedom to make decisions about your own body, freedom to be safe from gun violence, freedom to have access to the ballot box, freedom to be who you are and just be, to love who you love openly and with pride, freedom to just be. And that's who we are. We believe in all that. And so this is a moment where we stand knowing what we are fighting for. We're not fighting against. It's what we're fighting for.
Thank you. Thank you. Madam Vice President.
See, you Democrats out there are thinking of voting for her. And look, if you wind up doing it, I still love you. I do. I think you'll have gone around the bend and you've totally lost your mind, but I still love you. But can you honestly listen to this woman and look yourself in the mirror and say, yep, I know this woman is smart enough and tough enough to do the job. I know she has the intelligence to get things done. Whether you agree with her policies, disagree with her policies, whatever. Okay, lay that aside. Do you honestly think she's smart enough and can communicate her thinking enough that she can get things done? If you can look at yourself in the mirror and vote for that, go ahead. Like I said, I disagree with you profoundly. It's your vote. But I'm sorry. Now, and I know what you Democrats out there are going to say about me. Oh, yeah, you're just a Trump guy. No, wait a minute. Whether I was for Trump or not, there ain't no way in hell I'd vote for that. That woman, there's nothing but helium in between her ears. There's not a brain up there. Okay? Nothing. She talks in word salad. And by the way, I'm about to show you something that's not original to me, but it starts making a lot of sense as to why. Okay? Now, I believe it was Joe over on Rumble said, yeah, there's rumors about her with a lot of elbow bending and maybe a lot of pill popping and whatever else. Okay, I've heard the same things, and I'm not saying yay or nay on them. But if they were true, it would explain in part something that is alleged about her, not by a friend, by a clinical observer. I want to show you something. According to psychiatrist and body language expert Carol Lieberman, Kamala Harris suffers from imposter syndrome, a psychological condition where a person lacks confidence in their competence and feels that they don't deserve to succeed. Now, like I said, I mean, I don't know much about this Carol Lieberman lady other than just what I've read here, and I did do a little research on her, okay? But if Lieberman's right, and the behavior that Kamala Harris exhibits is indicative of somebody with this condition, imposter syndrome, then it starts making sense. And just to drive that point home a little further, I just did a little quick search for what it was worth. Imposter syndrome is a psychological experience of intellectual and professional fraudulence. One source defines it as, quote, the subjective experience of perceived self-doubt in one's abilities and accomplishments compared with others, despite evidence to suggest the contrary. Those who may have doubt with their skills, talents, or accomplishments, they may have a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as frauds. Despite external evidence of their competence, those experiencing this phenomenon do not believe they deserve their success or luck. They may think that they are deceiving others because they feel as though they are not intelligent as they outwardly portray themselves to be. Imposter syndrome is not a recognized psychological disorder and is not featured in the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, nor is it listed as a diagnosis. Thus, clinicians lack information on the prevalence, comorbidities, and best practices. However, outside of the academic literature, imposter syndrome has become widely discussed, especially in the context of achievement in the workplace. Signs and symptoms. Imposter phenomenon is studied as a reaction to particular stimuli. It is an experience that person has, not a mental disorder. Imposter phenomenon, although is not a pathological condition, it is a disordered system of belief about oneself that can have powerful negative impact on a person's valuation of their own worth. Yeah. It starts making sense. At least to me, anyway. I mean, look, I have said, for what it's worth, I've said that she's an extremely insecure person. It starts to explain the TBA reference. It starts to explain the word salad, other things. WWG1's like, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. You can't have imposter syndrome if you're already incompetent, apparently. She doesn't have it. All right. Maybe. You know, I might be onto something. I just throw it out there for your consideration. And yes, Patty, all of this may be possible too. Maybe. Yeah, so that was the great love-in. Oh boy. A psychological condition where a person lacks confidence in their competence and feels they don't deserve to succeed. Like I say, maybe there's something to it. Yeah, Midmo, you may be right, brother. You may be right. All right, we're going to shift gears and go to a different topic. But before we do, real quick commercial. My name is Brian Trippett. I'm the Front Porch Conservative. You have found your way to Front Porch Brunch, a fun little live stream we do on the weekends talking about news and giving our views and seeing if we can't figure out what the heck is going on in the world. We are on Rumble, we are on Twitter, we're on YouTube. So if you like this sort of thing and you're not subscribed to my channel, please give me a sub. I'm getting really close to 1,000, contrary to YouTube's best efforts. And share the link, get the thumbs up, leave some comments, have some fun. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. Everybody have fun tonight. So there's your PSA for the day. All right. We got some Diddy updates. And I tell you what, this thing with Diddy's getting spicy. It's really getting spicy. Blocked Ad Runner over on Rumble. Hey folks, sorry I'm late. Glad to see you. Glad to see you too, Blocked Ad Runner. Glad you can make it. We got some Diddy updates. And apparently old Diddy, he not real happy about his current accommodations. According to the New York Post, we have the following. Whines about not being able to talk to his kids while locked up on sex trafficking charges, says report. Article by Patrick Riley. And my first reaction to the fact that Sean P. Diddy is not real happy about not being able to talk to his kids, my reaction goes something like this. Wah! You're in jail, you asshole. Of course you're not going to get to talk to whoever you want to talk to whenever you want to talk to him. Get over it. Anyway, this article by Patrick Riley, we've got the following. Sean Diddy Combs has been complaining about his inability to talk to his 7 children as he remains behind bars on disturbing sex trafficking charges, according to a report. The disgraced music mogul is currently on suicide watch in a Brooklyn lockup. What? Wait a minute. Wait just a minute. He's on suicide watch? Oh, I knew about that, but I'm doing this for dramatic effect. Now, refresh my memory. Wasn't Jeffrey Epstein on suicide watch? Maybe. Just saying. Anyway, back to the article. Is desperate to reach out to his kids, Quincy, Justin, Christian King, Chance, twins Delilah and Jesse, and 2-year-old Love, sources close to the family told CMZ. Combs' family, distraught over the sickening allegations against the rapper, have been supporting each other and turning to God for guidance since his arrest in New York City on Monday, the outlet reported. Those closest to the family are trying to keep it together as best they can for the sake of Combs' children, the source said. Some pictures of Diddy. Combs, 54, has been taken into custody by Homeland Security agents at the Park Hyatt, New York, and charged with 3 counts each of racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He was denied bail on Tuesday at his arraignment and sent to Brooklyn's infamous Metropolitan Detention Center ahead of trial. The fallen rap mogul allegedly, quote, abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct for decades, creating a criminal enterprise whose members and associates engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice, according to the damning indictment. Combs is accused of regularly forcing women to engage in freak-off sex sessions with male prostitutes that were often recorded while the music producer did a thing, and we'll just leave it right there. I believe I have got that as one of the clips. Hang on a minute. Hang on, Gypsy. Let me make sure. Let me get the clip. Gypsy, is this what you're referring to? I mean, I didn't. Hang on. It's like a. Is this what you're referring to? If so, I've got it. I think this is the one you're looking for. But just let me know in chat. I think this is the one. Minmo says the RICO case is right now is just the tip of the iceberg compared to potential murder case. He's about, ooh, yeah. And there's a lot of stuff around old Diddy that's been swirling for years. And I tell you what, this could get, man, there's a lot of doors that get open with this one. A lot of doors. Let's see. Minmo also says that, oh, hang on. Keefe D. Davis guy who was the convicted trigger man of Tupac, his legal team back in July during his trial implicated that, yeah. The freak offs, honey. These parties were allegedly, I've read little bits and pieces about them, honey. Let me tell you, it's very adult stuff. That is faux show. Yes. Mercy. The powers that be are going to use as the fall guy for all the sex trafficking. Could be. Now, I'm seeing something over on Rumble, and I've gotta get to this because there's a question that's swirling around this whole story that, and it's bugging me, and I'm pretty sure it may be bugging you guys in varying forms. Let me ask you guys a question. Sean P. Diddy Combs has been in the public eye for going on what? 30 years, maybe? And this guy knows a lot of people. Okay. Okay. All right. You sent it to, okay. All right. I will take a look. Thank you, Gypsy. Appreciate it. Oh, that was it. The one, hang on. This is it. Okay. So this is it. All right. Cool. All right. Mid-90s. This guy's been around since the mid-90s. He knows a lot of people, right? How is it that Sean P. Diddy Combs, and again, building a case like this takes a lot of time. I get that. But 30 years? Really? WWG1 says, I think I know your question, Brian. The answer is they're all blackmailed. Could very well be. But to give you an example of all the people he knew, Kamala Harris, AOC, Al Sharpton praised Sean Diddy Combs in 2020 town hall dedicated to COVID, honoring Black Americans. Really? Article by John Levine of the New York Post. Vice President Kamala Harris offered effusive praise of Sean Diddy Combs while participating in a town hall dedicated to the coronavirus and Black Americans. The 2-hour event in April 2020 was hosted by CNN political commentator Van Jones and featured the Reverend Al Sharpton and squad members AOC and Ayanna Pressley, Democrat, Massachusetts. Hey, everyone. It's good to be here with you this evening. Sean, I want to thank you because you have always a way of convening and bringing folks together, Harris said on the call. She later followed up in an effusive tweet that was widely mocked in social media. Now, I bring all that up And yeah, you're right.
Grateful.
So you're not allowed to talk yet. I bring all that up and I ask myself this. How in the world did this guy go all these years being, and I forget who it was that called him this, the Black Epstein? How did this guy go all these years of being the Black Epstein and nobody? And that sort of begs another question. Why now? Why is this case being brought against Sean P. Diddy Combs now? If this has been going on for as long as it has, why now? Why did the trigger get pulled now? And I am not trying to be conspiratorial about this. I'm really not. WWG1 says, same reason we didn't know about the white Epstein, blackmail. Yeah, could be. Could be. Yeah. TBA says, why now? To expose everyone before the election. It's called the Great Awakening. Brother, you guys, you wingnuts over on Rumble, I think you're onto something. I really do. WWG1 says, it's time for humanity to know what's been going on. Yep. Now, okay, all right, I'll take it and run with it. If they did, why? What's in it for them? And by the way, I have a question. Hey, Kamala, are you really sure you want to try and tie Donald Trump to Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson of North Carolina with all the stuff that's going on supposedly around him and with your associations with Sean P. Diddy Combs? You're really sure you want to go there? And don't worry, we got some Mark Robinson stuff a little bit later too. Oh, I told you, I got a bunch of stuff. But yeah, Diddy is now on suicide watch. Again, same thing as Epstein. I'm just saying. I will say this, and I'm not trying to be morbid about it, but you all who are family members of Diddy, y'all better be visiting the jail every little bit. You better check on Dad. I know you love your father, but you better be checking on your dad. You know, if I were you guys, I'd do a 2-hour shift. Seriously, somebody staying there. Don't leave him alone. If you can do it, don't leave him alone. Because old Jeffrey, that whole suicide watch thing, that don't turn out real well. Oh, mercy. Yeah, to me, this is absolutely fascinating. Which, by the way, you children of P. Diddy, if you see this woman coming, watch out. Which, by the way, we got a Hillary clip as it relates to old Diddy, folks. I'm not saying, but you better listen in on this one.
So your husband flies to Epstein Island 27 times. Then they arrest Jeffrey Epstein, and then you kill him. Just like that. You bribe the guards, you turn off the cameras, and then you choke him to death. Will you be choking Puff Daddy this time around?
Right.
So how are you planning on doing it?
I wanted to choke him at night and make it look like a suicide, just like Jeffrey Epstein. But then I realized Puffy might actually enjoy that. So, maybe he slips on the shower. Maybe he chokes with a piece of fried chicken. I still haven't decided yet.
Listen, you look, you kids who love your dad, I'm just telling you, you best be watching out for your dad. Okay? Just saying. Because Hillary has some experience in these sort of things, allegedly. Just saying. Whew, yeah, this thing with Diddy gonna get spicy before it's all said and done. Because there is a lot to this. I'm gonna play a little bit of this list. You know, we're asking the question, why now?
Will Smith. Will Smith. Alicia Keys. Alicia Keys. Black King God. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber. Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart.
Now I'm going to drop that out just so I don't quite get myself in trouble here. But he's listing off a whole group of people. This is known as the birthday list video that Gypsy's referring to. I'm telling you, this thing has got legs. Now, it's probably going to be just like Epstein. We're never going to know. But man, wouldn't we all love to know? Just saying. Oh, goodness. All right. Let us, before we, what is it now, 12 o'clock? Yeah. Marshall University is going to get their butts kicked by Ohio State today. Yeah. My hometown university's football team has traveled up to Columbus, Ohio to play the Ohio State Buckeyes. And game's probably kicking off right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that to cop out. I'm still doing the show. I'm just saying my boys right now are on their way to a butt kicking at the hands of the Buckeyes. Ugh, that's going to get ugly. So to take my mind off of that little problem, or I should say that forthcoming disaster, you know, you're probably right. Cat Williams is probably feeling very indicated where Diddy is concerned. So, all right, to take my mind off the forthcoming football disaster that's going to be the Marshall-Ohio State game, my name is Brian Trippett. I am the Front Porch Conservative. It is high noon on Saturday, kickoff for a lot of good football, but we've already kicked off on Front Porch Brunch, a live stream that we do starting at 10:30 on Saturday morning, talking about all the things going on in the news, and oh boy, have we got a lot of news to talk about. We're on Rumble, we are on Twitter, we're on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel. I would genuinely appreciate it. Also, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment in chat, share the link around to your friends. Let's see if we can grow this thing into something great, amazing, and awesome, which, by the way, it already is amazing and awesome. We just want to share the amazing and awesomeness with everyone around the internet, if at all possible. Okay. Did you guys see Joe Biden's cabinet meeting the other day? Oh my God. This is just, oh, word heavens to Murgatroyd. That is going to be the first topic in the thing we call HodgePodge Stew. Now, for those of you who are maybe coming to this live stream for the first time, HodgePodge Stew are those collection of stories that maybe aren't at the top of the list as far as things you find on the internet, but oh, they definitely need to be talked about. And this first one that makes up HodgePodge Stew is pretty spicy. If for no other reason, it makes you ask the question, who the hell is running the country? I've got a clip here, runs about a minute, of Joe Biden presiding over his first cabinet meeting in 11 months. You did not mishear what I said. The first cabinet meeting in 11 months. And what he does at the end of it is just kind of extraordinary. Folks, watch this.
So we're grateful that Jill is here today. Heard that clapping. It wasn't for me when we came in. Here across previous administration, First Ladies have attended these meetings for specific reasons. This is the first time Jill has joined us, and that goes to show how important the issue is, which she's about to speak to the both of us. Today, at the top of our meeting, Jill's going to give an update on the House initiative, White House initiative, to fundamentally change the approach and the fund, how we approach and fund women's health services. So I'd like to turn it over to Jill and for any comments she has, and it's all yours, kid.
Thank you.
Now, did you catch that? Well, it's not uncommon for first ladies to visit cabinet meetings, and this is the first time that Jill has been here. Really? Really? It's not uncommon for first ladies to attend cabinet meetings. Funny, I don't remember first ladies attending cabinet meetings. When did that happen? Whose administration did that happen in? WWG1 says, First Lady is not a position. Daggone right, sir. Daggone right. TV is like, since when a First Lady's been in cabinet meetings? You got me. WWG1 says, Wilson's wife sure did when Wilson died. Bingo. It's just unbelievable. Oh, yeah, I saw that. I don't have it pulled up, but I saw what you're talking about. Oh, goodness. Goodness me. Yeah, I saw exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm feeling the same. Yeah, first ladies always attend cabinet meetings. Right. Sure. We believe you. Oh, my God. Just. Oh. Let's see. TBA says Eleanor Roosevelt, and when FDR was incapacitated. So, okay. All right. Well, maybe I am wrong on that. But it's most certainly not as prominent as what we saw today. And the press just treat this like it's totally normal. Just totally normal. Yeah. First ladies sit in on cabinet meetings all the time. I mean, listen to this. I got a clip here from MSNBC.
She talked about the fact that sometimes the White House, in her words, surprises you. And for somebody who has worked on women's health issues for her whole career, frankly, as a teacher, but also as the second lady and now as the first lady, she said one of the things that struck her the most was the inequities in medical research, funding for medical research for women. So this is an important priority of hers that she had the opportunity to at this cabinet meeting to spotlight. And as you had that great interview with her, Peter, talking about the fact that, yes, a burden may have been lifted from her husband's shoulder in one respect with the end of his campaign, but there's still a lot of work that they both intend to do during their last few months in office here.
Who the hell is running this country? Who in the world is running this country? Absolutely ridiculous. WWG1 says, and Jimmy Carter sought out nuclear policy from his daughter. Okay. I'm not saying I don't believe you guys, but this is blatant. This is in your face blatant. Blocked Ad Runner says, well, maybe Jill's close for a potential diaper change. Well, could be. But yeah, I saw that and I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me. Unbelievable. Jeez. All right. Well, now WWG1, that's one thing. Reagan's wife used astrologers for her decisions. Okay, I get that, but to me, this is like cold water in the face. It really is. It just have most people had a suspicion that Jill's been doing stuff behind the scenes on Joe's behalf or in Joe's name? Yeah, true. She comes to a cabinet meeting to give an update about initiatives that she's working on. She's not a cabinet officer, but supposedly this is a normal thing where first ladies attend cabinet meetings. You know, I don't know. It just, like I said, it's just like watching cold water get thrown on somebody's face. In this case, mine. By the way, shifting topics in HodgePodge, dude. Did you guys hear about New York City's COVID czar? Woo! Oh man, you talk about rubbing salt in wounds. Ooh. Yeah, this one, and I guess a shout out to Steven Crowder and his crew for this one. And this one's gone viral over the internet. From the Post Millennial, New York City's COVID czar attended drug-fueled pandemic sex parties while forcing New Yorkers to stay home, mandating the vaccine. While schools were shut down and people lost their jobs and sirens blared all day and night, Dr. Jay Varma was taking drugs and having sex parties with his friends. Article by Libby Emmons, and let me just say, I love Libby, and in this she's pretty salty. And for the record, Libby, if you should ever watch this, honey, I don't blame you one bit for being salty about this. WWG1, I missed that one. The COVID czar. Oh yeah, let me. WWG1, let me drop this one in chat right now. You can look at this one at your leisure. But man, you want something that's going to make your blood boil. Woo! Wait till you get a load of this. This is absolutely going to make you mad. All right, let me get this thing pulled up here. Dr. Jay Varma sat by the side of New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio for the whole of the COVID-19 pandemic, delivering instructions to New Yorkers during every morning's 10 a.m. press briefing. He told us to stay inside, not to see our friends, not to go to church. That was an order from Governor Andrew Cuomo's office. He told us to stay away from parks, wear masks, ordered all of us to get vaccinated. But what was Dr. Varma doing that whole time? While schools were shut down and people lost their jobs and sirens blared all day and night, he was taking drugs and having sex parties with his friends. A new undercover report from Steven Crowder's Mug Club Undercover shows Varma out on a date, revealing the salacious details of Varma's life in New York City during the pandemic. He was the man who convinced the mayor to create a vaccine mandate so that not only the vaccinated could participate in public life. The report reveals that while Varma was telling everyone else what to do, he was engaging in the exact opposite behavior. By August of 2020, he was hosting drug-fueled private sex parties along with his wife at a New York hotel. They were all taking Molly, he said, meaning the street drug ecstasy or MDMA. He admits he had to be, quote, sneaky about it because he was running the entire COVID response for the city. He also says that he would be embarrassed if anyone found out. Really? You'd be embarrassed? No shit, Sherlock. You ought to be. And I'm sorry, Libby, if the saltiness in Libby's voice is coming through the way she's writing, I don't blame her one bit. Not on this one. This POS SOB, and in case some of y'all out there don't understand what that means piece of shit son of a bitch. If this piece of shit son of a bitch was doing this to the people of New York City after telling them they had to all lock down, stay in their homes, wear masks, get the vaccine, your kids don't go to school, you don't get to go to church, you don't get to see your loved ones in nursing homes, etc., and doing this stuff, Libby, honey, you could pour an entire salt shaker on the guy. I don't care. TBA says, piece of shit son of a bitch. Yeah, that's exactly what he is. That's exactly what he is. Let's continue with the article because, like I said, you want something to get your blood pressure going and you want salt in the wound? Oh, Libby's just laying it out for everybody here. In his report on the investigation, Crowder points out the key element of the story, which is that while the authorities told New Yorkers to be afraid of the contagious virus and of catching it from their fellow citizens, they themselves did not fear it. Authorities used that fear to control citizens, keep them in their homes, out of work, out of school, out of churches, even out of the voting booth, while they feared nothing themselves. The entire undertaking from this perspective makes one wonder what the entire goal of the pandemic controls wasn't just the taking of total control of the population and forcing them into compliance with the government. Varma deleted his Twitter account in advance of the report coming out. Cuomo, de Blasio, and Varma collectively shut down the city. Deaths mounted, and those who died were forced to die alone. Family members were not allowed to tend to the dying, but Varma gathered with friends to get naked to blow off some steam. Varma told his date about his career in public health, spending time traveling the world, to go and help countries like build their systems to detect and respond to disease. He did that work while employed with the CDC. When he came back to New York from Ethiopia, it was at the request of the de Blasio administration to run the COVID response for the city. Varma bragged to his date, quote, "I was actually the one who convinced the mayor to make it a mandate," he said of the COVID vaccine mandates in New York, which forced New Yorkers to either take the vaccine, which was approved only under emergency authorization from the federal government, or be blocked from participating in public life. It's so funny, Varma told his date. It's like, because I did all this, like deviant, like sexual stuff, like was I on TV and all that stuff? And people are like, aren't you afraid? Aren't you embarrassed? And I was like, no, actually, I'm really like, I love being my authentic self. I'm just trying to keep cool right now. I really am. I really am. Yeah. And this piece of shit son of a bitch is going out to New York hotels for drug-fueled sex parties, orgies. And he forced the people of New York City to be alone, isolated, afraid, forced them to change their behaviors. Loved ones died alone in hospitals or nursing homes. And the piece of shit son of a bitch is proud of what he did. That he got the mayor to mandate the vaccine, which God only knows how much damage that's done. And I don't think we're going to know for even in spite of all that's come out now, and there's been a lot. And to reporters and people who've been doing the Lord's work trying to show the side effects of the vaccine, God love them. But I don't think we're going to know for years the full ramifications of everything that happened because of what these people forced the American people into. Like I said, I'm sorry for the language, but sometimes it's just appropriate. Piece of shit son of a bitch. Oh, who knows what he's got? He's probably got a harem. Yeah, it's going to be decades before we know all the damage. Hopefully not, but it probably will be. It probably will be. Piece of shit son of a bitch. Well, in other news, as part of HodgePodge 2, Sunny Hostin of The View. Now, I know those are words you never thought you'd hear come out of the lips of the Front Porch Conservative, but you want an example of why you ought not watch that wretched show? And fortunately, thank God it's not being renewed. You want an example of why you ought not watch The View? Well, Sunny Hostin is able to help you out with that one. Listen to this.
Answer. And that does make me hopeful, actually, that this Swift effect will speak to more women about the true character of Donald Trump and will turn them away. But to your initial point, I know you said we weren't going to talk about it, but I was. It just seems to me that since she is in an interracial marriage, she should have known that to support a racist is problematic.
She's talking about Brittany Mahomes. Professor, as I understand it, The View is not being renewed. As I understand it, but I could be wrong, but I was given to understand they're not being renewed for next year. Anyway, she's talking about Brittany Mahomes, the wife of Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes, who and by the way, Let's remember what Brittany Mahomes did. Supposedly, all that Brittany Mahomes did was like a tweet. That's it. That's it. Nothing else. Anyway, back to this fount of wisdom.
Her children are biracial, and her family is one of the families that in the 70s could not have lived in any of Donald Trump's buildings. So it just seems to me that maybe she's just not that politically savvy, or maybe she's just not read in.
Granted,
but it's
all we know is
problematic.
that she liked a Trump post. We don't know. She hasn't stated
She has since
that she
taken it
supported
off
him, but
because-
that's fair to interpret that she may have, but we don't know that she's a supporter.
Now, Sonny, I have a question. What the hell difference does it make whether Brittany Mahomes' children are biracial? And why do you even feel the need to bring them into this? You know, I'm very old-fashioned when it comes to this sort of thing. You got a problem with her. If you, Sonny Hostin, have a problem with Brittany Mahomes, go take it up with Brittany Mahomes. Leave the kids out of it. Okay? And frankly, she liked a tweet. And then Brittany Mahomes, according to this clip, came out later and said that she supported Donald Trump for president. Guess what? That's her right to do it. That doesn't make her a racist. That does not make Brittany Mahomes a racist. Doesn't mean Donald Trump's a racist. That is a damn lie. Okay. But as far as I'm concerned, you're not being a grown ass woman right now. I'm sorry, you're just not. I'm not going to call you a piece of shit son of a bitch, but you're definitely being a POS. You're definitely being a piece of shit. Like I said, you got a problem with Brittany Mahomes, you take it up with her. Okay? You got a problem, you solve it woman to woman. You leave the kids out of it. Zippy over on Rumble with a Rumble rant, and I need to catch up that other one. I'm sorry, Zippy, I saw it, but I didn't say anything about it earlier. No one is more racist than neoliberals. They can only think in terms of race. Thank you for the Rumble rant there, and also thank you for the other one that says be happy slave or else. Thank you for the Rumble rants. I do appreciate it. Yeah, going back to that story about de Blasio's COVID czar. Yeah, there's a lot of people in that position, dear. A lot of people. Yeah, why do I bring up Sonny Hostin of The View? You got to report on all the crazy. And believe me, there's a lot of it out there. Let me tell you. All right, what else do we have in HodgePodge stew? We got some Springfield, Ohio updates. Got to get into these. Man, I tell you what. I said, maybe about a week or 10 days ago, I said, this Springfield, Ohio story right now is the epicenter, the tip of the spear, the focal point of the arguments that we're having in this country about illegal immigration, legal immigration, and its effects on the country. And I tell you what, this story is not going away. And I'm kind of actually glad that Christian's here, which don't get me wrong, I'm always glad that Christian Watson's in the audience. But I got some Vivek clips for you, my friend, which not that you need me to, I mean, you've probably seen them, or maybe you haven't, I don't know. But your timing is excellent because we're just about to get into them. But this thing, what is going on? Oh, yeah. Oh, we're just about to get there, dear. We're just about to get there. This thing with Springfield, Ohio that's going on right now is the absolute tip of the spear. This story, you watch, I should have known better. Of course you watched the whole town hall. I tell you what, the clips of it that I've seen, and we're going to share some of them here with the audience, but I tell you what, first of all, God bless Vivek Ramaswamy for going to Springfield, Ohio. So this issue needs to be front and center with 5 weeks to go. It really does. If the American people are wondering, man, where are we at with this thing? I mean, we've done 4 years of Biden-Harris immigration policy. What have we wrought upon our nation? Springfield, Ohio is the place where you ought to go if you want to figure out what it's going to bring. And I got a clip here to kind of start us out. It's not a town hall clip, but this 15 seconds is the statement about what it's all about.
Jobs are getting took up, man. You know, all these, you say our factory needs 50 people. That could be 50 Americans that don't have a job. Instead, the Haitians, they take exactly all those 50 spots, man. So that's 50 people that don't have a job.
Okay. The reason that I play that clip is just not necessarily to bring something new, but as a reminder. No, look, and even the residents of Springfield, Ohio will tell you this. They don't hate the Haitian immigrants that are now in their city. What they hate is what it's doing to the city and what kind of effects it's having. I mean, I've always said this about, even illegal immigrants. I don't fault them for coming to America. They want to come here to hopefully have a better life for themselves economically, politically, etc. I don't fault them for that. My problem is the government, okay? And in this case, let's talk about Springfield, Ohio, all right? The citizens, or the governed, if I may use that term, are looking to their government to say, hey, guys, we're the citizens of Springfield, Ohio, and more is being done for these people who, lay aside, they're not even citizens of Springfield, Ohio. They're not citizens of the state of Ohio. They're not citizens of the United States. More is being done for them than us. This goes to the heart of the argument about illegal immigration. There's a lot of reasons why you ought to control your border. There's a lot of reasons why you ought to control who's coming into your country. But one of them is the blessings and the benefits of citizenship should be for the citizens, not for everybody else you decide to let in inside of 4 years. And the fact that we oh, really? Now, was this city officials or were these citizens, bless their hearts? Oh, the mayor told Trump to stay away. Well, that's probably guaranteed a reason why Trump's going to wind up going there, if I had to guess. Never tell Trump not to do something. That's probably going to be the biggest incentive you get to make him go do it. Now, whether that winds up being good or bad, we'll find out. But if Trump is anything like any other human being, telling him not to do something is probably the best way in the world to guarantee that's how you make him do it. But yeah, here you have a statement. Well, there's 50, if the factory announces there's 50 jobs, these 50 jobs are going to the Haitians. What about us? We're citizens of the city. Blocked Ad Runner says it's about the money. Landlords are charging the Haitians by not the apartment, by the bed. $200 a bed. I've seen that report. I know what you're talking about, brother. TBA says the Springfield mayor is making bank off those Haitians. Yep. But I play that little 15-second clip to set up some of the stuff we're going to watch about the town hall. I got a clip here, and I'm going to do my best not to interrupt these because these are good. And man, if you really want to understand what's going on, I mean, and Christians alluded to it. If you can find that entire town hall, I really recommend watching it. I will admit I have not seen it all myself yet. I've just seen the clips, but from what I've seen, you really get a sense of where the people of Springfield, Ohio are at. Not their government, because their government, oh man, that's a whole other argument. But the people, The people right now are hurting. And with that, check this one out.
There simply are too many mass migrants here in this town, and they're too richly subsidized. It's pushing people out of their homes. It's pushing people out of jobs.
We have been put down and called racist, not only in print, but also to our faces at city commission meetings. And now we are at a level of desperation.
Be a resident of Springfield, Clark County for 61 years. If our city council and everybody wants to be a part of the solution, I'm just sitting right there by the door. I haven't seen a single one of them.
Others spoke to Ramaswamy about city services unable to keep up with the increased demand, including one mother who said police didn't show up for her daughter.
She was chased by a man with a machete on her way to work. Called the police. She told them what had happened and wanted to file a report. 2 hours later, the police still had not called her back and never checked on the crime. So that's how you know there's no crime in Springfield, because no one's reporting it.
Ramaswamy, an Ohio native, met with Springfield city officials as well as Haitian community members before the town hall.
Initially supposed to be small, we expanded it. Turns out we had a venue capacity of a few hundred people. It was about 2,000 RSVPs. People were just hungry to have their voices heard. They've been told to basically shut up, sit down, do as you're told for too long. And I think people were just hungry to be heard. I think the residents tonight actually had a lot of good, pragmatic ideas if people are just willing to actually listen to them. And I think we tried to do that tonight.
Now, that's the first clip we've got, and there's a couple more. The citizens of Springfield, Ohio are not asking for anything more than what they should expect from their government. And when I say their government, I mean their local government, their state government, and their national government. Number one, the protection of their lives. Theirs, their loved ones, their family members, their friends. Second, the protection of their property that they've worked hard all their life to try and cultivate and better and create value for. And the protection, more importantly, overall, the protection of their city. That's all they're asking for. They're not asking for the moon to be brought down for them. They're not asking for, the golden goose to give them golden eggs and they live in the lap of luxury for the rest of their lives. They just want the basic contract between the governed and their government. We, the governed, give power to our government to do for us collectively what we may not be able to do for ourselves individually. And the government's not fulfilling the contract. Anyway, a couple of more clips here. And I don't know that I'm necessarily going to play all of this one, but it's worth listening to, or at least parts of it. With that, check this out.
I have one question. My name is Chrissy. You came here from your hometown. We have city officials that live right here in Springfield and have not set up a meeting like this for Springfield. You said your tickets were free, right?
Yes, they are. We're not making money tonight.
Okay, listen to me. But why can't the city officials, I'm serious, why can't the city officials do this? Go to the north, south, east, and west of Springfield, maybe get people that want to come, and find out what they're really living circumstances. And here's why. We're paying for those, right? I've been in Springfield for 66 years. I know a lot about Springfield, okay? So my take is, if you don't talk to people, even Haitians, I have Haitian friends too. I know all of them are over here illegal too. But what I'm saying is, this is a community. If you want to be open about things, talk to the people. Don't just make it seem like President Trump did, like everyone's lying. They don't really know, if they're not living on that side of town, what really goes on. So how will you know about a city if you're not bringing the people together, right? And talking to them. It's called Communication 101.
What's your name?
My name is Chrissy.
Chrissy, I appreciate
that. All she's doing is looking at her government square in the eye and saying, look, talk to us. In the name of all that's decent and holy, come and talk to us. We are the ones that grant you the power and the money that you have. We call on you to be accountable to us. And the government won't do it. Yeah, bravo to that lady. That minute 30 right there, that minute 30 ought to be played everywhere in the United States. Why is our government not willing to come and talk to us? Yeah, absolutely. Matter of fact, I'm putting this one in chat. It's that good. It's just that good. You got take a look at it at your convenience if you haven't seen it already. Well, okay, TBA, you're probably right. They're not, the city council members are not decent and holy, nor are they honest. I probably did not express my thought as clearly as I could. I agree with you, TBA. But when I say decent and holy, I'm not referring to the council members. I'm referring to all in the name of all that is decent and holy. Let me clarify. But that woman is expressing what everybody's thinking, and not just in Springfield. Name any city in America where this is happening. In Pennsylvania, in Texas. Name a city where this is happening. In a minute 30, she is expressing what everybody around this country is thinking. Your assumptions about how our government is supposed to be run are far, far out of date. Maybe they are far, far out of date, but that doesn't mean they should not be espoused. WWG1 says, positions of power attract people who desire power. Very true. But there's TBA says none of our governments are fulfilling the public trust and the compact. Oh, I don't disagree with you. TBA, I don't disagree with anything that you just said. You're right. You're absolutely right. But just because those notions are not being acted upon now does not mean that we who grant power to government should not hold them accountable by calling them out in moments just like what that woman did. No, TBA, I love you and I don't disagree with a thing you said. So there you go. So didn't we have, yeah, we had this fight about 250 years ago, brother. I agree. Yeah. All right, I think I've got one more clip. Oh, this one. Oh, this one's going to make your blood boil. If you haven't seen this one, friends, if you think the stuff we watched so far, oh, wait till you hear what Vivek says in this one. Okay, this one's going to blow your mind. Check this out. I'm going to let this run. I'm not interrupting this one.
Wasn't planning to mention this in my introduction, but you brought this up and it relates directly to it, right? So I posted on social media about this event, and I wanted to be constructive in the community to set a tone where your mayor and other city leaders have asked for help. I'm not in office right now, and so I want to think about as a businessman or as somebody who's lived the American dream, how can I help? I appreciate that. I tried. Thank you. And we didn't get to Ohio, so But I thinking about, this country's blessed us with so much. We've lived the American dream. I thought, okay, how can we use our resources to do what's right and help the community here? So this is a story about this trip. Just tells you about the power of bureaucracy in America. So we say, okay, maybe it's the hospital that's strained. So I call around city leaders. Hey, no, it's not really the hospital. It's primary care that's actually been strained the most. And there's some nonprofits working on primary care here. And so we offered a $100,000 gift to support those charitable efforts. And guess what got in the way? They turned down the gift, bureaucracy along the way. And I think that it has something to do with I can only speculate, it has something to do with my political perspective or otherwise. But I think that the reality is we need to put that to one side and say, if we have ways to solve problems, whether it's in the VA, whether it's in the private sector, whether it's in philanthropy, just get the bureaucracy out of the way so that at least in government, the people who we elect to run the government once again run the government. And in the private sector too, the people who actually are running the show are people who actually care about solving the problem rather than looking after their own optics or appearances. And if we do that, I think we're going to save the country. So thank you. Why don't you come on up, sir? Thank you.
So catch this. As a way to try and help the citizens of Springfield, that man who has the means to do it offered $100,000. Maybe it was directly to the hospital. Maybe it was to a charity organization that's trying to help out. Couldn't do it. Why? Governmental bureaucracy. And he didn't necessarily go into a lot of detail as to the why, but couldn't do it. The man wanted to give of his own time and money. I mean, in this case, his money, and couldn't do it. Blocked ad runner says, "Isn't Trump supposed to be going there?" That's what he says that's what he says he wants to do. He says he wants to go there. We'll see. Yeah, Darius, and hello, brother. Glad you're able to join us this morning. Now, I tell you what, we've had a really good crowd here for Front Porch Brunch, and God love you on the Rumble side, the YouTube side. You guys are awesome. Absolutely awesome. Man. Yeah, I am going to play this. One more point about Springfield, Ohio. And this is from Drew Hernandez, a clip that he posted. Well, thank you, sir. I genuinely appreciate that. How am I feeling? Well, aside from a touch of arthritis, I'm just kidding. No, it is an amazing journey. It really is. I agree with you, and thank you so much. Thank you. It is exciting. It is. Some days just make me want to tear my hair out, and then there's some days it's like, yeah, this is worth getting out of bed for. This is from Drew Hernandez. He posted this, and I'm going to, among other problems in Springfield, Ohio, check this out.
Well, I'm Oscar Namani, as many of you know, and I am here on High Street in Springfield, Ohio. And behind me is a beautiful building. It used to be a home, a historic home, and it is now the home of what many would call the hub of an alleged trafficking network here in Springfield, Ohio. So many people have been drawn to the city because of the story that Donald Trump spoke about of alleged eating of cats and dogs by migrants who have come from Haiti. Well, I've seen the cats and dogs running through the streets of Springfield, and I haven't been able to document that allegation. But there is this other disturbing reality that everybody should know about. Behind those doors, since at least 2019, the staff and the executives of this organization, First Diversity, have been funneling migrants from Haiti into the work pool here in Springfield. And it's not just good living and opportunity and refuge, it's exploitation, where the owner, a man by the name of George 10, goes by the moniker King George because of the wealth that he brags about and that he lives. And unfortunately, that comes on the backs of many of these Haitian migrant workers that have become a caricature of sorts in the media, as have the people of Springfield. But the story that I want everybody to remember is the one that is most important. And that is when those in the name of greed crush those who are simply seeking opportunity and a better life. And that's a story that I hope you'll be able to understand happening here in Springfield.
I'm going to drop this one in chat as well. Like I say, this story about Springfield, Ohio, it's not going away, and it's not. If you want something that really gets to like the tip of the spear and help really get into a discussion about what's happening, this will do it. This will do it. Okay, we've got a few more things. We're going to wrap this thing up here in just a little bit because I know you guys have lives, and bless your heart, so do I. You want to know what Ryan Routh's view was, or what it could have been of Trump on the golf course that day, last weekend, last Sunday? Jack Posobiec posted this. That picture that you're looking at supposedly was taken from the area where Ryan Routh, the alleged assassin of Donald Trump, that's the vantage point that Ryan Routh would have had he been able to get off a shot. Just take a good long look at that, folks. And I still go back to my question, and I don't think we're ever going to have it answered, but it's the question that ought to be answered, and it's this. How did Ryan Routh know exactly which golf course Donald Trump was going to be at? If Trump made the decision, sometime on Saturday where he was going to go, and Ryan Routh got there 12 hours in advance in that spot, how did he know? TBA says, how did the Secret Service agent see the barrel of the gun Routh was holding in the bushes? Eagle eyes? No idea, my friend. No idea. No idea. I'm just saying, thank God he did. U.S. Secret Service knew 24 hours in advance where Trump was golfing. True. But this question, to me, this is this. If that location was unknown by the Secret Service and only a handful of people inside Trump's senior campaign staff, well, everybody's asking the question, and you know what? Yeah. You know what? And Midmo, thank you for reminding me about this, because I got to be fair to you guys, because you guys have been sending me stuff all through this, and oh, this is cute. This is cute. Ooh, this looks spicy. This looks spicy. This looks really spicy. Oh, this looks good. This looks good. Hang on. All right. Hang on, guys. Midmo sent me something, and bless his heart, I got to put this one up here. This looks good. Oh, I agree. I agree with this. I absolutely agree with this. I totally agree with this. The hell with the Secret Service. Not until, if Trump wins, the Secret Service cannot be relied on until after he gets back in office and after somebody on his behalf does a house cleaning of the whole agency. I totally agree with that one. All right. Let me real quick pop this up here and play just a little bit of it. I can't play the whole thing because it runs a whole 5 minutes, but daggone, this looks funny as hell. I will drop this one in chat for you guys, and you can thank Midmo later. All right. This looks good. I'm not sure who Freedom Tunes is what they call themselves. Check this one out. And YouTube, understand this is parody. Okay. This is parody. We are not endorsing anything in this cartoon. We just thought, okay, maybe a little bit of, humor might be worth it. So just before anybody YouTube freaks out, just saying. Okay, here we go.
Political prosecution may be coming soon, as Donald Trump has threatened to weaponize the DOJ against anyone who attempts to assassinate him. What could this mean for the future of our democracy?
This is an attack against the media. Trump supporters are already alleging that we encouraged the brave hero who shot at him.
Even though we've repeatedly told the public there is no room for political violence against the Nazi who is a living embodiment of all of our trauma.
That's exactly right. It's another sick attempt at endangering our lives with harmful rhetoric. No one in the press is encouraging violence.
That's right, and we still have no idea why the assassination attempt occurred. In fact, our network released this statement earlier today. We are unable to confirm the shooter's motive, as there are too many reasons to kill the former president. The statement goes on to say, these range from saving democracy to the former president simply having a shootable face. Exactly. The idea that we're encouraging this is simply a lie. A baseless smear. For more information, we go live to our on-the-ground reporter who's within Trump's vicinity now.
Thank you, Mac. The former president seems to be incredibly agile. It's been characteristically difficult to pin him down.
Oh, okay. That got a little too spicy. Sorry. Again, YouTube, we're just... There you go. Okay, before I totally get myself in trouble here. Thank you, Midmo. That is pretty daggone funny. So like I say, I dropped it on YouTube and in the Rumble chat. So enjoy. Let me do one other thing real quick, because I want to make sure I be totally fair. Midmo, what else did you send me here? Oh, okay. I'm going to drop this one in chat, but I'm not necessarily going to play it. This goes back to the whole Diddy story. Nah, you're all right, Midmo. You're all right. I did not pre-watch that one on the fly, so yeah. If you get a YouTube strike, don't blame Midmo. No, I'm not blaming Midmo. I'm not blaming him. I played it, so no, I'm not gonna blame him. The first one I sent is more wholesome. I don't know, man. After that one, I don't know. Oh goodness. Let's see what else we got here. Let me make sure I'm taking a run through here just to. Okay, and I'm going to drop this one in chat too. Ah, man, I tell you what, you guys are just totally awesome. Absolutely totally awesome with the stuff you send me. Midmo, I'm going to take a look at some of this stuff a little bit later. It might wind up being on Monday night's session of chatting, because some of this stuff looks really good. Now, the reason that I kind of bring up that picture of Ryan Routh's vantage point on the golf course from last Sunday. Now, as you all are aware, Governor DeSantis has issued an order saying, no, we're going to take over jurisdictional control of this thing, the investigation, because we're going to charge him with any number of Florida crimes because he's in violation of differing laws across our state. Well, apparently, he's getting blowback on this one. And here's part of his interview with Laura Ingraham.
Now, Governor, I want to turn to another topic, because we were relieved to hear that you are doing your own independent investigation in Florida concerning the second assassination attempt on President Trump. My question to you tonight is, are the feds being cooperative with your investigation? Are you concerned that you're not getting the information you need?
The answer is no, they're not being cooperative. Yes, I am concerned. I mean, for example, we were rebuffed. Our investigators were rebuffed just going to the fence line outside of Trump International Golf Club in West Palm Beach. And so I think they've taken the position, they don't want the state of Florida to be involved in this. But here's the thing. There were multiple violations of Florida law across multiple jurisdictions. We think at least 3 judicial circuits, this guy, Ryan Routh, committed potential violations of Florida law. So we have a duty to investigate this. We have a duty to bring the appropriate charges. And we also have a duty to inform the public about how this happened. So I don't anticipate they're being cooperative. I think that they've just taken that position. And I think that that's unfortunate because even though I've been very clear, state of Florida is going to do an investigation, I've not disputed their right to also investigate. It's the federal government. He was in their protective custody as a presidential candidate. But let us do this. So hopefully that tune will change. But I can tell you right now, Laura, we have not gotten a lot of receptive response.
Ah, boy. Is anybody surprised? Anyway. All right, I tell you what, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and bless your hearts, you've got better things to do than hang out with me all weekend long, because at the rate this live stream is going, I could still keep going for a good hour and a half. Anyway, this has been an absolutely fun session of brunch, and I hope you guys have really enjoyed yourselves. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are awesome. If you're new to this channel and you've happened on this live stream, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. And also, please remember, please, help out my friend. Let me get her channel pulled back up here. Please help my friend out, that wonderful young lady, That Tug Life. This girl is only a heartbeat away. I shouldn't say heartbeat. She is only that close. She is 13 subscribers away from 1,000. Please, if you have not subscribed to That Tug Life, please subscribe to her channel. Also, share this with your friends, particularly if they're gamers. Tugs has all kinds of different interests, but she's big into the gaming community. And if you enjoy that sort of thing, Tugs is a invaluable resource for fun, for information, for everything else. Please help her out. Let's get her to 1,000. You guys were extraordinary on Thursday night, and I cannot thank you enough. So please, if you have friends that you think that would enjoy her content, give them the link to her channel on YouTube, and let's get her to 1,000. And with that, we're going to go ahead and bring this train into the station. Thank you guys so much for being here for a wonderful session of Front Porch Brunch. We will be back Monday evening, 7:30 Eastern, and we'll be talking about a bunch of things as we are prone to do. And the Sunday shows are going to give us stuff to dive into. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. So much for being here this week. You guys are, as always, the best audience on the internet. So much fun and so much joy that you guys bring me. Unlike Kamala's joy, you all are legitimate joy. You're a load of fun. I love you guys. Have a great weekend. And remember, as always, the words of that great American philosopher, Tom T. Hall, when he said, "It's faster horses, younger lovers, older whiskey, and more money." Love you guys. I'll see you Monday night at 7:30.